Well, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Hokey smokes. Today has been a very difficult day for me to get motivated. It is almost 20 minutes after 8 a.m. Ooh, boy. I got hopefully get some phone calls made today, and that'll be good. Hopefully get some follow-ups, get some maybe some online chat to get some stuff done, push through and get some things, and that's good. It has not been raining. It did not rain last night. Well, while I was out on walkies, everything was damp, and it had been lightly raining throughout the day, so there was some rain, but not a lot. And it's just gray and foggy outside, and it's warm-ish, not really cold, so not bad weather. And I got to bed late. It was like after 1 o'clock before I was finally able to fall asleep. But 5:30 I'm up and out of bed because pain and discomfort, so joy on that. And of course, for the YouTube algorithms, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you like what you see in here, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that too would be very awesome. I do enjoy comments quite a bit. I can't push through my executive dysfunction all that often, but I do try to answer as often as I can. I thumbs up every comment that I read, and I read them all, so that's a good thing. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people literally help to keep me alive. I'm going to be updating this hopefully today if I can push through that stated executive dysfunction. But without these people, I would be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. So thank you, each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people. I don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't know where the video description is, or even if you can see it, but inside there's links to the Patreon, and if you'd like to become one, that would be awesome. Hey, front loading of the video over, thumbs up for that. My upper lip is just really like poking up against my nostrils here. I didn't trim the mustache part of my lip all that well against my nose, so it's all itchy and touching occasionally, so yay. Yep, took a shower last night. It takes 2 hours from my walking in and saying, okay, I'm going to take a shower, putting my stuff down and starting, because I trim my beard, I trim my hair, and then I get into the shower, and it hurts to move. I don't move quickly. So if I get in there at 6 o'clock, put my stuff down and consider that the shower beginning. It's 8 o'clock when I walk out of there, completely done. So, It was after 8 o'clock when I finished my shower last night, but I hadn't gone walkies, and I needed to get stuff. So I went out for late night walkies. Oh joy. Especially since there's this one big road that I walk on from southern Shelton to downtown Shelton. You have to descend about 200, 300 feet in height. And there's this one big road, Olympic Highway, you go down, and it's down the edge of the mountain, and it's a much more gentle slope. As I'm walking down there, there's this fellow who's got a knife, and he's standing on the sidewalk and occasionally just turning to look at me as I'm getting closer, but he's also walking off into the side of the road and is like cutting ivy with this big old knife. And of course, I'm a human being, and I worry when I see people doing things I don't understand with large bits of weaponry. And so it was like, yeah, I kind of hope that I don't end up being gutted like a trout with my corpse left to rot on the side of the hill. But on the other hand, it's not like the fellow was an orc or a goblin or a mythical creature. It was a human being. And even if you have strong mental issues, or you were born with strong things not right up here in your head, you're still largely a part of a social construct. You're still part of a society. You are an end result of a long line of people who have survived by being social. So on the one hand, it's like, oh boy, I hope he doesn't flip out and decide, hey, you look like my mother. And on the other hand, it's like, that would really take a lot. And likely you're not just going to suddenly snap in the middle of nothing on a sidewalk at 8 o'clock at night. So, You gotta think these things through. Of course, everything went fine. I mean, I had to bury his body. You know, I've got to put my knife to use. But past that, it turned out everything good. So thumbs up on that. I enjoy walkies, and it turned out well. Probably one of the reasons that it was so difficult for me to get to sleep. Of course, I ended up doing all of that exercise, which can help rev up your system, because it was after 10 o'clock, almost 10:30 by the time I got back. So yay. Plus, I had forgotten to take my ADHD meds early, and I took 20 milligrams at just before I went walkies at 8 o'clock something, so that didn't help. Thumbs up. Which of course is weird, because sometimes it does, and that'll knock me out. Thumbs up for that. Now, some of the things I want to talk about. Oh, I just hate that itchy upper lip thing. My sincere apologies. One of the things I wanted to talk about is, of course, a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about. And I wanted to stress, when I say a lot of the stuff I've been talking about, my inside razor's edge, outside setting with this whole cryptid extra stuff. Because yes, as a writer, I have my entire career of writing. It really enjoyed, as stated, the whole death is humor, and being uncomfortable with things like that is a challenge to try and make this situation, this person, this thing, whatever, is a likable thing. So I understand it's a challenge, and especially when I was talking yesterday, oh my gosh, I don't know why my upper lip is just really itching my nose. My sincere apologies. How I stressed for some people when they get picked as victim, it is freaking terrifying to be a victim of Bakir. Now, one of the things that I do want to stress on this, of course, is that he's not choosing to do this. I discovered today exactly what the full character arc of this character is because of my thinking about this. I have stated that they call themselves Bakir instead of James Lane Baker because physically and all that they are not James Lane Baker. When they started to get sick, that's when their bodies started to convert, when the extra universal chromosomes started to express. And when he fell into the coma, that was when it finally, the big changes happened that couldn't be conscious for. So before and after, yeah, he's physically not James Lane Baker. He's taller than he was. He's bulkier. He's hairier. But you've seen taller people. You've seen bulkier people at the gym. My brother-in-law, needs to shave his back. He literally looks like a Sasquatch. So he's not even as hairy as that. Just looks like a guy. It's just he's also got that extra universal stuff that makes him a cryptid. His entire body is made out of the cryptid stuff. But because he can, as a 13th kind of cryptid, interact with other people because he's no programming, he's able to deal with people because when you've got an individual, like when there's stuff from the inside, like a book, and people from the outside try to interact with it. You can't at first. It doesn't make sense. The handshake protocols don't match. Your mind is going to have to make it be something, because otherwise it's not going to fit, and you're not going to be able to work around this thing that doesn't fit, and your head goes, okay, that is a book. Same thing with James Baker. He presents as a person that extra stuff is there, but you click into him as just a person because effectively they are. The cryptid feelings of terror, dread, fear, and terror that people get is not something he chooses. That terror that people feel when chosen as a victim is not something he chooses, and in fact is likely not even aware it happens. But that is, again, the struggle, because they have said, there's Bakir, that James Lane Baker is dead. But are they really? The body is different, and mind is a product of brain, and their brain is demonstrably not human. There is extra structure, there are some structural changes, but 95% of it is still human. And so James Lane Baker's mind has to stretch, expand, and fit into these new places, and he's not exactly who he was before. But does that mean that James Lane Baker is gone, and only Bakir is now there, a new being? This is one of the reasons that Dav has to talk Bakir out of just killing someone at one point without survival. Because eating someone for survival is different from, well, killing for any other reason. And even though Bakir is Bakir, I am not human, that mind spent 23 years as just a welder, James Lane Baker. They're still there. And as a member, as I'd said about this homeless, not even homeless, just the guy with a knife who was chopping ivy, they've been a member of a social species for so long. And hurting people, even for your own survival, is going to take a toll on you. We are not built to do that. Even cops who shoot people, as much as I don't like cops, when you shoot someone, you get mental help and therapy because it hurts you to hurt others. And it's hurting him, and that is the struggle, and this is the fight. Because they started to go down the dark path and had to be talked out of it, and it's all... And thank you to Floramu in the comments, because it is a struggle for their humanity, coming to the realization that no, they're not, James Lane Baker didn't die, but they're not really just James Lane Baker anymore either. And Bakir obviously is not just a new individual, but they're also not just a figment. They are James and they are Bakir together. And it's that struggle to find out who they are is the point of all their cryptid stories. That struggle of who am I, what am I, where do I fit in this world? Along with the added struggle of, well, his survival requires him to do something that on the social level really hurts. Which also, and thank you everybody whoever watches to the end of these, is one of the reasons that I don't really like the group Duran Duran. And if you don't know the group Duran Duran, I don't blame you. They were somebody that became popular like in the 80s and 90s. They still exist. They've done a lot of albums. But if you ever heard like, Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf on all those classic oldies stuff, that's that group. The first two albums of theirs I didn't really like, and then they came out with a third album, Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I have loved this album my entire life, and listening to what the people have said as they, afterward, why they made it, it was basically a struggle of who they were and what they were doing, and were they doing the right thing? Were they just chasing fame? Is this something that we want to do? Are we being successful? And if we are being successful, are we being true to us? And the entire album just cries out with, who are we? What are we? What is our place in this world? Especially since one of the songs has a whole bunch of lines like, am I just chasing after rainbows? One thing for sure, you never answered when I called. And other things that are just, and I look through the world through the eyes of the stranger. It's all, who am I? What am I? Cries of, who am I? And that is James Baker's / Bakir's struggle. Because yes, he is a frightening and terrifying individual, but at the same time, he's just a guy who needs to survive. And of course, as prey animals, since we as human beings, each and every one of us would be a potential prey, of course we consider the predator to be unethical and immoral. Prey animals do. But it's simple survival. And as a predator, well, no, there's nothing unethical or immoral. But he used to be the prey. So it's a struggle and a fight. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments and try to answer the comments as well. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully, if you've watched this far, you'll continue to watch. And thank you again, each and every one of you that does watch. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, with my depression, fibro, my memory is oy vey. It's not literally oy vey. It's oy vey is the reaction to them. Anyway. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up, good to see you. And the point of NFTs is getting in on the ground floor and making money off the rest of the rubes who think that they have a chance. And that's basically it. Sai Yenkev, thumbs up, I've put him on the list. Alyssa Anderson, thumbs up and thank you. Just Playin, who skipped the beginning of the videos, but that's life. Flora Mew, hopefully I have helped you with my distinction because your questions have certainly helped me. Jocelyn Williams, thumbs up, and yes, world building is amazing, I love it. Then there's Bobby, thumbs up and thank you. Kevin Nicholas, it is a good game, thumbs up. And then there's Gabs, greatly appreciated. Finished Fish, thumbs up and thank you very much, greatly appreciated. There is Ben B, and oh boy, do I agree with you entirely. There is R9NX, thumbs up and thank you. There is Takaki Fukato, I am nowhere there, but thumbs up and thank you very much. Favel, always a good thing to see you in the comments. And that is it. 14 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. And again, I don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't even know if you can see the video description. But if you can, inside are links to my various channels. If you could check those out, that'd be cool. I also have links to my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon. And again, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful people literally are helping to keep me alive, and I'm not joking when I say that. Oh, without their help, I'd be in trouble. Generally, at the end of the month, even with the help that we had been having because of the COVID boost to food stamps, I can't remember how long I should be keeping my hands up. My wrists are sore, but without these people, I wouldn't even be able to eat. So thumbs up and thank you. If you'd like to become a patron, of course, links are below. But if you, if you would like to help out without becoming a patron, I have a PayPal link as well. And if you'd like to help me out without even sending cash, I do have an Amazon wishlist link with cat food on it. If you could check that out, and there is a plushie on there that would be really cool if we could get that. Thumbs up for that. And of course, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I'm doing my hand gestures all wrong. And I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. I thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. I am so cotton-mouthed. I don't know if it's because I'm dehydrated or it's because of the THC or if it's because I had to use a lot of denture cream this morning. Yay! But I am so cotton-mouthed. Sorry about that. All this stuff. Yay! And of course, with the covfefe bug raging and people getting this thing everywhere, oy vey, please, please, please be as careful as you possibly can. Do not go out amongst the unmasked, unvaxxed, mouth breathers if you don't have to. If you do, maintain what social distancing you can, wear the best possible mask you can, wash your hands off, and try not to touch your face. Get vaxxed if you can. Get a booster if you can. Try not to become a statistic. We're on this world, we're in this existence for a very short time. Don't deliberately try to make it shorter. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is, quite frankly, a very good thing.